Hey people, what's going on? Welcome to Real Tough Talk. Tough Talk.
How is that even possible?
Tough Talk. Whoa!
Stephen J. partner goes,
Show some respect. You did not answer the question.
he's a bad man.
Bad man.
He's a bad. He finally said it.
The slipper's gone. The dress has holes in it. The cart turned to Tough Pumpkin again. So what else you gonna do?
This team couldn't cover a twin mattress with a king size sheet.
Lights out season.
Lights out for you. Let's get as quick into the game as possible because I am not staying in this wig longer than I have to.
I want to part. Play it out, bro, while you're talking this game.
Hey people, what is going on? I want to thank you for joining us on another episode of Real Tough Talk. I'm Stephen J. It's my partner Ghost, and I'm so excited to bring you another week, the final week in the BQFL season.
I mean, it's like you're excited every week. When is there going to be a week where, the way you say it, it's like there's going to be a week where you're not that excited to bring us the game.
We're doing a job that I'm doing a job I love to do, so why wouldn't I be excited?
No, but listen to what I'm saying. But obviously you're excited. This is what you enjoy doing. But you say it every week as if there's going to be that one week where, yo, these games suck. I don't feel like bringing you the games or whatever. Are you going to have that approach one day?
You don't think it's somebody that may not have saw our show in the previous week? So if I say excited I am, it lets my audience know that I am pleasured. It's my pleasure to bring them these games. I'm excited to do my job. I guess I got to come on and say, hey, what's going on?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Why are we
but, you
here?
know, mix it up with just...
It just seems like you're looking for something to criticize.
That's a fair thing to criticize,
Yeah,
especially knowing that you've been doing it for how long already?
Exactly. That lets the audience know who is the real energy of the show.
Sure.
Speaking of energy, we're going to get into a big game later on between New Breed and Blackout. That was a high intense energy game. But so this game we're going to go over is the Primetime versus the YG's game. And this is a big game because, you know, this is the last week of the regular season and teams are trying to solidify who they're going to play in the playoffs. You got Primetime coming in winning 4 straight. They've won 4 straight and they've outscored their opponent in this 4-0 that they've been going, this 4-game winning streak, 82-35, including beating Young and Reckless 20-0. Primetime has really showed their ability to play offense, but they've showed their ability to play defense, coming in with the number 2 defense in the league. We've seen Shockers be one of the top teams. They have the second best defense. Only team that gives up less points than Primetime is Blackout.
And that just shows that regardless of what this team was going through on offense, their defense always were able to hold teams to lesser points. And that's giving credit to, you know, their defensive players doing what they got to do on the field, and Tiki coaching and keeping these guys together and keeping them on task. But I got to give credit to their offense. And, you know, I'm going to give I'm going to give a decent credit to Mach, who's improved as the season went along. Not to say that they were killing everybody in offense, but they improved to become more of the middle of the pack. They were not that hot in the beginning of the season, but as he got along throughout the season, he's been able to score points, and they look a little better than they did starting out this season.
And I'm going to have to disagree with you. As you know, even though their offense have improved since they was on that losing streak and they've won 4 straight, it is went all the way up to 5th place. Their defense is what this team hang their hat on. They have the number 2 defense in the league. Only Blackout gives up less points. So definitely you got to say Primetime's defense has come and been able to carry the slack that the offense may not have been able to score as much points as you would.
So pretty much you just took the little bit of credit that I gave to this offense.
No, I think
like
I said, they've improved in the last 4 games. They've won 82-35. But they only scored 16.2 points a game. Like I said, the Blackout scores more, Shockers score more, Rockstar score more, and New Breed, who is 2, 4, and 1, scores more.
Listen, Mach, if you watching, just know that you can't make this guy happy no matter
I'm not
what
hating
you
on him.
do.
I think he's a talented quarterback. I just think that their offense, because they started off slow,
Yeah.
that's why the numbers
But that
were the
was
numbers.
basically
And-
what I was saying.
And they play a YG's team, which there's no need for us to debate on that. The YGs are coming in
Yeah.
at 2-5. This team has one of the worst offenses in the league, 7th in a division with 8 teams. And they have the worst defense in the league, 8 in a division of 8 teams. This team gives up 23.1 points a game, and they have lost 2 games straight, including a forfeit loss to Grave Diggers that last game.
And that is definitely not a winning formula for any team. And this team is pretty much at the bottom of the pack wherever you stack them. And the thing about that is the fact that you're not able to hold teams to score, to scoring a certain amount of points. And then you top that off with not being able to score enough points. That is a losing formula right then and there, and it reflects on the record that they have right now.
And they've been inconsistent. They lost 2, then they win 1, then they lose, then they win 1, then they lose 2 in a row. This team is the definition of inconsistent. But luckily they have Dave throwing today, and I think Dave gives them the best shot to win because then Asa can go to the receiver, as we've seen Asa struggle throwing the ball, and Dave could go back to his natural position, which is throwing the football. We're going to start with the YGs getting the ball. Dave is going to throw to Diddy in the gap. Diddy's going to get past Moss and get all the way to the 3-yard line, picking up the first down. If you look there, Moss got there just late, and Diddy made him pay for it. First and goal, Dave finds Asa in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. 6-0, YG.
And that one play where Moss just got there late for Diddy to make that big yardage play on I believe 2nd down, that was the real reason why they were able to get into the end zone and scoring. So because they weren't communicating, Moss is not able to pick up the open receiver in time. That was some big yardage that led to the touchdown.
YGs are going to go onside. Brett is going to touch the ball, recover by Jesse, giving YGs the ball right back.
Right when you give up a score, this is the worst thing that can happen. You make a mistake that gives the offense, the team that just scored, the ball right back to put up more points against you. That is not a good way to start your game right away.
Dave is going to throw the show, cutting in the gap for a nice game, picking up the first down. Good throw by Dave. And if you look at this is Show playing against his team. You got to know that's a great feeling by Show, being able to make a big play. Great throw by Dave to find it.
But the funny thing is, it's a great feeling, but then it's not, because then the next game he's going to be with them again. So the feeling of that
ultimate bootleg.
Yes, so the rivalry thing or whatever, the spirit of that is gone, because by the next game you're back with them, so it don't really mean anything.
3rd and goal after 2 short passes. Dave stole the Diddy in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Diddy bobbles it but still catches it in the end zone. Pred is there, but the pass just gets by him. 12-0, YG.
He's able to throw it right through the defender. The defender is there. They may get there a hair late, but the fact that Dave is still willing to make that throw, Pred is there. He's all over that play, but Dave is able to get it right to where Diddy's able to get his hands on it, and that is another touchdown there.
Primetime's going to get the ball 4 now. 2nd down, Mach is going to throw deep to Meek in the middle. High, but caught in the end zone for the touchdown. 12-6. YG is still up. Primetime gets on the scoreboard.
And the fact that all you got to do when you throw into a receiver like Meek is to throw it where his hands can get it, where he can go and reach out and get it. He's open in the middle here, but as he stops, he's able to just turn around, make the catch before the defense can react, and that is a score there.
2nd down, Dave throws deep to Asa, who beats Earl in the middle, but the pass is dropped. Asa has to catch this football. That's a big drop. 3rd down, Dave with blocking from Watch Me. Throws to Red, cutting in the middle for a nice game, picking up the first down. Red is back. He said he's back. He's able to make a good play here. 3rd and goal, Dave with blocking from Happy. Those who Watch Me cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Moss is there, but Watch Me catches the ball over him. 18-6, YG.
And 2 things about this play. Give credit to Dave for a nice throw, getting it to where Watch Me can get that ball. And the other thing is, you have Moss guarding Watch Me. He's there, but the fact that Watch Me is a receiver with the size that is hard to get around, by the time Watch Me gets in position, there's no way that Moss can make that play to defend. And because of that, Watch Me's able to come down with the ball for the touchdown.
On a free play, Mach rolls left. On a free play, Mach rolls left. Those in Meek opening the gap. Meek, after the catch, gets past Asa and runs it in for the touchdown. The penalties decline. Disco gets the extra point. 18-13. Primetime. If you look at Asa drops back too far and gives me the open lane.
And it looks like and understand about what happens normally on plays like this. They're trying to force a first down. The safeties always back up because they believe that the quarterback is going to take a shot to the end zone. Mach, he instead takes a good throw in the gaps. He rolls to the left. He sees Meek open in the gap. He gives Meek the ball there. Meek is able to make one move and run into the end zone. That's a good decision making by Mach, catching the defense off guard and getting the score.
Primetime is going to go onside. Jesse touches the ball. It's going to be recovered by Moss, giving Primetime the ball. And this is my only issue with Jesse. He wants to be called easy. He wants to be a playmaker. He wants to get out his brother's shadow. I think he has more passion than VIP. The problem is sometimes that passion kind of clouds his judgment. This is a bad touch. This makes no sense. But Jesse's trying to pick it up and running in for a score. So do what? Make a big play, and he costs the team possession.
And my thing is, it's like you were able to get a possession like this against Primetime, and now you're giving it right back. That's how you got the lead, and now it seems like you're doing the same mistakes to give the ball right back so that they could come back in this game. These are not opportunities you want to give away. You're already in the first half. You have an opportunity to put the game away early, and you're throwing that away right now.
After getting the first down, Mach throws deep to Nas in the gap. Passes short, picked off by Red, who's going to shake Meek all the way to the 25-yard line, giving it right back to the YGs. Nobody was open short.
And I don't mind this throw here. Nas versus Red on this throw. I'm making this pass. I'm taking a shot. But the thing about it is the pass was inaccurate. It was too short for Nas to get that pass. And because of that, Red was able to get there and snag it and run it all the way to the opposing 25-yard line. And you see Red, he still got the moves. He's still able to get some big yardage after catch, even though it's an interception. You said that they said that he's back. It looks like he's back because he's making plays for the team yet again, like he never left.
And I hate the play. I hate the throw. It makes no sense. You just got the ball back, right? You just got the ball back on the onside kick. It is 18-13. You're trying to creep back into the game. You take a shot. Okay, you like the shot. It's short and it's picked off. And not only does it get picked off, Red highlights Meek with this move here. All disaster on this play. All undisciplined play. Terrible decision by Mach. You just got the ball back. Your job is to run the clock out and score. Not try to make a play, because usually when you try to make a play, you don't make a play, and that's what happened. Dave is going to throw the happy open on the sideline, getting him to the 3-yard line. 2nd and goal. Dave finds Jesse in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Watch me get a 2-point conversion with a nice catch in the back of the end zone. 26-13, YG.
And that interception is what led them to be able to score. They were already put in good field position before those few plays was able to drive them into the score. And this is just a momentum killer for Primetime. They had the opportunity, like you said. Again, I stick to to my opinion that I didn't mind the throw because nobody else is open. But you got to make the throw if you're gonna take the throw. And because of that, they get it. They throw an interception. The momentum that they had, they give right back to YGs, and they're able to extend the lead further.
Last play of the half, Mach throws it up, incomplete, taking it into the half, 26-13.
This could have been a better roller coaster ride on both sides if Primetime didn't give up a few opportunities that they had. And I think that's reflective of the score right now, 26-13. They had a couple opportunities that they were able to come back in this game, and they gave them away. A few times they weren't able to get in the end zone because they given away onside kicks early in the game. And then on that last one where they finally got the ball back to come right back in the game, they gave it away with an interception on one play. If you're going to take shots, if you're going to take throws, you're going to have to make them and be accurate. And that's one thing that Mach still is inconsistent with this season. And their defense has to communicate more. And it doesn't seem like they're doing that. And those are the things that's reflective of why they're down by more than 2 scores right now.
Forget records. Let's throw the records out the window. YGs look like the better team right now. YGs has had the ball 5 times and scored 4. And if it wasn't for a bonehead play by Jesse, this team probably would have scored five times on 5 possessions. What I love about this is, even though Jesse was the one that made the mistake that cost them the ball, Dave was able to find Jesse in the end zone for a touchdown, even though Jesse was the one that made the mistake the last drive that cost them the ball. This is why Dave has to be the quarterback of this team. This is why Dave has to be the leader of this team. When he says go, everything operates. Then you see Watch Me making plays. Watch Me has not played like this in a while. We need Watch Me on this level all the time. All the time. You already know what Asa could do. You already know what Happy could do. You've seen them make plays. And VIP is not even here. So at the end of the day, we are playing better than Primetime. Nah, record don't matter this game. We're showing them that don't underestimate the team we are. We are as talented, if not better than you. We're going to have to see what happens in the second half. Second half, 4 and out. Second down, Mach throws a Chris in the gap. The pass is bobbled and dropped. Third down, Mach throws a Moss in the middle. Watch Me gets ahead and incomplete. Primetime is going to have to punt.
Now, yes, the defender was there a couple of times. He gets the hand in. But if your hand touches the ball, you got to come down with it. You got to find a way. If you have to step up to the ball and get that pass, you got to step up into it. You got to make something happen to help your quarterback out there, because you need these big plays. You can't afford to get stopped so early in the game, because if you give away opportunities, they can extend the lead even more, and it'll pretty much be all she wrote. They can't afford this right now.
YGs get the ball. Dave throws a show in the gap for a decent game. 4th down, Dave throws to Jesse, cutting in the gap. Jesse can't hold on to it from the contact from Strag. Passes drop, turnover on downs. And this is my issue with Jesse. This is why people don't put Jesse on the same level as his brother. I think he's talented. The kid is ultimate talented, but his mouth brings more attention than his play. You seen him fumble the ball earlier, which caused him a turnover. Then we see Dave find him and reward him by throwing him a touchdown pass. Dave comes to him again to pick the first, and the hit makes him drop the ball. Well, if the hit is going to make you drop the ball, you're playing the wrong sport. Maybe you should play tennis. Maybe you should play croquet. You know what I mean? Maybe you should bake. Because if you're not able to hold the ball with the contact, you're in the wrong sport. Remember, the score is 26-13 YGs. Third down, after 2 short passes, Mach throws the pig on the sideline. Asa gets a hand in the pass, incomplete. But if you look here, Nas and Moss are both open. Last down, Mach will block it from Pratt. Throws it up to Meek in the back of the end zone. Watch Me gets a hand in there. Meek can't hold on to it. Passes drop, turnover on downs. YG's with the stop.
And it looks like Watch Me and this YG's defense were prepared for that play right there, because this is a play that I've seen Meek make multiple times with that jump ball play. But Watch Me is there. He's able to get a hand in. Meek cannot hold on to it. That's just great defense, preventing a touchdown that we've seen over and over again, at least a turnover.
Dave on third down throws deep to Diddy in the middle. That pass is dropped. 4th down, Dave throws a show in the gap. Knocked away by Moss. Turnover on downs. Nobody's open. Primetime's able to stop the YGs again.
And that's the one thing that's given Primetime an opportunity in this game. Their defense is locking up and stopping this YG's offense. A little late in the game, but at the same time, this is something that Primetime has to capitalize on, getting their offense back on the field and getting their momentum going, but their defense is holding the best they can.
Mach is going to get the ball back. He's going to throw deep to Pig on the sideline. Knocked away by Asa. You look here, this goes open in the gap. Second down, Mach throws a Nas in the gap, getting him to the 7-yard line. 4th and goal, Mach is able to find Meek in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. 25-20. Primetime's down 5.
And this was not a perfect drive. There was moments where they looked like they weren't going to make it, but then they make a big play, get into the end zone, and Mach is able to complete the drive with a score. That is a way to stay focused and keep your team in the game and keep your team alive in this game finally able to put up some points, their defense needs to hold at this point.
Primetime's going to go onside. The ball's going to hit the ground. Picked up by Asa. He runs into the gap, cuts inside, runs all the way into the end zone for the touchdown. 32-20 with 2 minutes left. YG score right away.
And it seems like every time you take one step, you take one step forward, you take 2 steps back. You get a good score because your defense is holding, and then on onside, you give up not only them getting the ball, but you give up a touchdown. So I'm not expecting you to get the ball every single time you go onside, but prevent them from running the ball. They don't do that. They're so concentrated on trying to pick up the ball that they give Asa a running lane right into the end zone, and now it's pretty much all she wrote at this point.
Mach is going to get the ball. He's going to throw it to Chris in the gap, who's going to run for a nice gain, pick up the first down. Second down, Mach throws the meat on the sideline, passes high, picked off by Red. Red's second pick of the game, giving it right back to the YG.
You're sealing the game when you make mistakes like that. You already gave up the touchdown on the onside kick, and now you're giving up interceptions, giving the other team that's already winning the opportunity to put the game away. This was not a good drive at all. They were supposed to take their time, not take too many risks, but that's exactly what they do, and it leads to interception.
Dave throws to Chris in the gap for a nice gain. Third down, Dave throws the show in the gap for a decent game, picking up the first down, ending the game. YG's with the win, 32-20.
Remember earlier when you said that YGs were the definition of inconsistency?
Correct.
You said that. That's not what happened in this game. Now, the way that they were able to score, the way they were able to drive down the field was not consistent, but the fact is they were finding ways to get into the end zone regardless of how they did it. And that is one thing that you need. Regardless of how you get the opportunity to score, you score. That's exactly what this team did. Extra point on onside kicks, they were able to score. They were able to get the ball back. Their offense was able to drive into the end zone, and they were able to get interceptions, putting them in good field position. Everything that you need to win the game, this team did. And that is why they come away with the win. This is a game that they need. This is the way YG is supposed to play, especially going into the playoffs.
Tiki lost his game. This loss is on Tiki. This was the worst coaching I've seen in my career of refereeing. And I'm not going to be that drastic. Maybe I say top 3. I've seen some bad jobs. This was top 3 at least that I've seen. Let me show you some things on coaching that happened this game that I think cost them this game and cost them an opportunity to possibly, get the number 2 seed as high as that. Let's look at some things. 1, you see this touchdown when YG score? Yeah. Look at the guys, what they doing. Arguing. That's coaching. That's 1. On the next kickoff, that Primetime gets the ball, Pret fumbles the ball. Ends up giving YG's the ball back. What happens when they give the ball back? They score again. How did they score? Pret got there late. So, you had the team arguing when they gave up the touchdown. Right? After they argue when they gave up the touchdown, mind you, Dave scored on first down. Pret fumbles the ball trying to make a play. Gives the YG's back the ball. Where Pret gets there late. Gives up a touchdown. That's coaching. Then, look at this other play. They're going to end up Mach, right? After they scored, they scored twice. On this drive here, Mach throws an interception on first down. You say you like the shot. I told you I thought it was terrible. But again, it was first down after he had just got the first down. Right? After the team had just got a fumble back, Mach throws an interception on first down. That's huge. Giving them the ball back. Right? Then We go into halftime. No problem. The next drive, they have to punt. They go 4 and out. They don't move the ball. Look at their coach right now. See Tiki? Does he look interested? No. Does he look concerned? No. That's coaching. 2 minutes left. You're down 12. Mach throws another interception on 2nd down to the same guy. And you know it's a final point? Want to hear the best point that I love out of everything?
Go ahead.
This team gave up 32 points this game to YGs. That's the most points YGs had scored all season long. And you know what's YG's average? YG's average 14 points a game. 14.7. Close to 15 points per game. You allowed this team to score 32 points on you when they average 14.8. You would say. Give them 15. That's all coaching. This whole game is coaching.
Okay.
And it started becoming an avalanche.
Yeah.
From when Tiki started, it started off in the beginning with the arguing. He didn't address it. You know, I know sometimes we think Tiki's this mad scientist and he's taking the liquids and pouring it in this and pouring it in that. No. We've seen him, and we didn't show the game, but we're going to hear later. We seen him lose to Power Circle earlier, which lost them first place.
Yeah.
And now we've seen them, after winning 4 games in a row, give up more points to a team that's never scored that many points, to one of the worst offenses in the league. You gave up 32 points. And you're going to tell me this is not coaching? Mach did his job. Mach scored 20. But Mach is involved in this too because he threw 1 interception on 1st down and 1 interception on 2nd down.
Listen, first of all.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Let me see. It started with coaching.
Okay.
And we saw what Tiki did.
All right.
We saw the drop pad, the arguing. Then we saw, right? Then you see the next guy, leader, throw an interception on 1st down and an interception on 2nd down. Okay. And then we seen their defensive captain, right? Fumble and kickoff, which gave YG's another possession. And then get there late for a touchdown pass.
Okay.
Did you see the way it steamrolled and it all started from the head? And let me show you that video one more time. Look at their coach. Look at their leader. One game before you start in the playoffs? This was a strategy? You want me to believe that? Right.
Now,
right.
I'm not going to challenge all of that because that was such a long-winded opinion. And I'm not going to say I disagree with you on most of it. Obviously, you kind of throw a little sprinkle of animation in there, too. You know, I get it. But again, I'm not disagreeing with you. But I'm going to add to that more as the day goes along.
Okay.
Because there's certain things that went on with the C2 game that we didn't get to talk about. We didn't cover the game, but there's stuff that we could talk about with that game. Because I believe all of this is connected.
Right.
So they have another division game later on in the day. We're going to cover it, and then I'm going to give my opinion on what's going on with Primetime on that Sunday day, that whole day.
And YG's shout to them. They beat a top team. I still think their defense is pathetic. Sorry. You won this game. What was score? 32-20?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you held this team 3 points under your average. You usually give up 23. You only gave up 20. You're still bad defensively. You're still bad. So unless Dave could find a way to stop them from scoring, he's not going to answer all their problems. This team has the worst defense in the league. And, you know, Ace are going to say, yo, you know, he came on, yo, what are you going to say about the defense? You know, and I love the fact that, you know, you have some pride and you did get 2 interceptions. But it was more Primetime giving the game away then you can say this defense. Now, Dave played great.
Yeah.
Dave scored on his first 3 possessions, and then after they fumbled the ball, he scored again. Second half, he kind of cooled down. He got stopped twice, but we seen some drops also.
Yeah.
You were seeing Jesse not able to hold a first down. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, Dave is going to just have to outscore everybody.
Now, one suggestion that I have for this YG's defense, because one thing that they probably overlook that's probably hurting them is if you watch all of their games, they're only playing defense on one side of the field because they always go onside. My suggestion is throw it full field. Throw it all the way down and force the offense
Well,
to
I
drive
agree.
all the way down
Primetime
the
had the
field.
ball 9 times.
Yes. And that is because you go onside, they get the ball in good field position, and they score within 3 or 4 plays.
True.
So that's probably one of the things that's killing your defense, and that's something that they probably overlook. You throw it to their own 20-yard line, force them to drive all the way down the field. You have a better opportunity to stop them then. Your defense can hanker down, and have more of an opportunity to stop them. And I believe that that's the suggestion I have for this
They're
team.
never going to do it. Since I know Dave from playing with the Spartans, they feel that they have a better opportunity trying to get the ball back than having its team drive down the field. I think that could hurt you in the playoffs. I agree. We're going to wrap this game up. YG's with the win over Primetime, 32-20. We'll be right back.
A creepy old dog.
Next game up, you're going to have Primetime versus Brotherhood. Remember, Primetime just coming off of a loss in the B division after coming off of a loss in the C2 division. So they try to at least go home with 1 win today. And one thing I can say about this Primetime team in the C division, Creep has been playing well. And this team has been playing well as they have won their last 4 out of 5 games. And the only game they lost was to Shockers 14-12. And that was when they played Shockers B team.
Yeah.
Their C team lost 14-12. They could put up points. I say that about this Primetime team. We've seen them beat a team 28-0. Or they could go small ball, play it slow, and we've seen them also beat a team 6-0. So they can play both styles, which I think makes them very dangerous.
But the problem with Primetime in the C division, and I look at Creep. Creep, very capable quarterback, throwing really well, but he is his own worst enemy.
Yes.
He is his own kryptonite, I would say. And his weakness is his decision making on certain points of the game. And certain times, he either just not thinks and just takes a chance, and sometimes he second guesses himself as a quarterback, and that's why he makes mistakes. He thinks too much rather than just assessing the situation and making one decision and going with it. He second guesses, he hesitates, sometimes he just takes a shot. He's not assessing what's going on, and because of that, that's when he starts to make mistakes. When he's fully focused on the game, when he has a full game plan, and he's executing it the way he chooses to, he throws well. But he has to do that consistently, and I think that that's his main problem.
And Brotherhood, this team is all over the place. This team in the beginning of the season won 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Then they lost 3 in a row. Then they just won their last game, beating the Chiefs 15-14. And I give them that because they beat a team 15-14 who is number 2 in scoring. So that's a big win to hold a team that averages 20 points a game to 14. But the Chiefs, who have one of the worst defenses in the league, Brotherhood was only able to score 15, well short of their average of 22 a game. But they come into this game trying to get a good spot in the playoffs. And like I said, we've seen Melvin lose a lot of love this season.
One thing that this team has to get down pat is they got to get their fire under them. They got to get that fire for the game. And this team has been struggling with that, and you see it affect Melvin and his play. Because he plays better when his team is in the game, when they're fired up and they're committed to the game. When they're not that, Melvin feels like he's playing by himself. And you can see it in the way he performs.
Correct.
So that's the team that it's like you don't know which team you get. The fiery team that runs around competing with anybody, or the team that seems like they're dead on arrival and it's like the quarterback is the only person on the field. We just got to see which Brotherhood team we get today, well, in this game, because it matters for how the outcome will be.
All right, we're going to jump right into this C game with Primetime getting the ball. After getting the first down, Creep throws a march on the sideline for a decent gain. 3rd and goal, Creep on 5 rush, throws a march in the gap, off target, incomplete. If you look here, Disco is wide open in the back. 4th and goal, Creep throws a march in the corner end zone. That's going to be dropped, turnover on down.
This is a few misplays, but the main thing is regardless of how you get in the end zone, you're supposed to execute this drop touchdown pass right here.
By a quarterback who knows how difficult it is to score. I just wanted to throw that in.
Yeah, my thing is, this is not a way to be one to criticize, because I'm sure that he gives Creep some criticism, being the quarterback in the B division. So he does talk to Creep and give him advice, sometimes give him criticism. But then when you're out there playing as a receiver, you drop his pass. So how is that camaraderie working out when you're not able to be out there and catch a routine touchdown pass and at least a turnover?
2nd down, Melvin on 5 rush, runs in the gap. Juan misses the tag. Melvin runs all the way on the sideline to the end zone for the touchdown. 6-0, Brotherhood.
And they didn't expect Melvin to take off on this play right here. As soon as he sees the gap, 5 rush, he's off to the races. Juan is not able to get the tag here. He misses him, and Melvin runs right into the end zone for the score. This team was not prepared for this play, not understanding that Melvin can take off at any given moment, and he used his feet to get 6 points.
Creep with 2 runs in the middle, getting him to the 7-yard line. 4th and goal, Creep on 5 rush, throws the Disco in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. Big gets the extra point, 7-6. The question was, did the ball cross the plane?
And they were arguing. Brotherhood was arguing. First of all, before the drive, there was kind of a back and forth between Brotherhood and this Primetime team. Settled down afterwards. But they're fired up, and now they're arguing about what happened on this play. But if you look at this play here, Disco, before he's able to fall out of past the line, he's already in the end zone. The way he catches it, you see his feet is way beyond the line. The ball is in his hand as he falls out, and then he actually tries to tuck the ball back in. But you could see, because of his position on his body, he's already past the plane in the end zone before he falls out, so that is clearly a touchdown.
I love how everybody gets mad and they say they want the ref and the ref this and the ref that. But a lot of time, 9 out of 10, when we watch the videos, these plays is wrong. Great play by Disco, and that's what they need. Like I said, Disco is not their best offensive player. He's a role player that should be playing a bigger role. The guy can get into the end zone, and the guy does sacrifice. One of the oldest guys on the team, he does sacrifice to be in the starting lineup, and you got to find a way to get him the ball. On the kickoff, during the kickoff, Juan is just going to miss the ball. Mullah's going to pick it up and give it to Brotherhood on the possession. What do you think of this play?
And the crazy thing is, okay, first of all, I'm not going to kill... Actually, yes, I'm going to kill Juan. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say it's all his fault, but you still got to make this play when you have the opportunity. He's running full speed. He runs past the brother team. He has a clean shot at the ball. He overruns the ball and falls as he tries to pick it up. Rather than try to pick up the ball, it looked like he was trying to pick it up to run.
Of course, we always see them do that.
But my thing is, the ball landed near the 10, 15-yard
Just
line. Fall on it. Give the offense opportunity to score. But because he's looking to pick up the ball, he loses his balance, and Moolah gets the ball to retain possession for
Because these guys want to make the highlights on Tuff Talk.
Yeah.
You are in the highlight, on the wrong side of the highlight. After getting the first down, Melvin throws the X in the gap, almost picked off by Darryl. 2nd down, Melvin throws the guns in the gap, who runs for a decent gain. 3rd and goal, Melvin with blocking from machine, throws the TJ, cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Bling gets the extra point, 13-7, Brotherhood with the lead. Melvin had way too much time because he had a machine blocking for him to give him that time.
You have to give the giver help at this point because he has way too much time. It's going to be hard to hold the receivers running back and forth in the end zone, especially when you're locking up playing man. So you got to find a way to give him help. But because everybody's locking up, not only is the giver isolated on his own, but the defenders are on their own. Because of that, they're able to
And
Brotherhood's able to
TJ
score.
is a nice weapon for this Brotherhood team.
Yeah.
He does not get enough credit. Another touchdown by him. That guy's dangerous. After getting the first down, Creep throws Amiko on the sideline for a nice gain. Machine steps up on 5 rush, leaving them wide open. Primetime runs out of time, and that's going to take us into the half. 13-7, Brotherhood.
Brotherhood was on. Okay, Brotherhood was able to capitalize early in the game, take advantage of Primetime's defense, and take the lead early. They almost had a hiccup with that onside throw. Well, it wasn't really onside; they just missed it. But they were able to get possession of the ball and still score. So even when they made mistakes, they were able to recover in that same drive and able to put up points. So Melvin is looking terrific in the first half. He's able to take off with his feet and is able to make accurate throws into the end zone. When this team plays together with the fire under them, they are a completely different team. This is the Brotherhood that we need to see in the second half and moving forward because they're looking good right now.
This doesn't look like prime time. Maybe the game is coming on at midnight. Maybe it's coming on early in the morning. But this is not prime time. Definitely. This is not a team I want to watch. This is not a team I want to read about. This is not even a team I want to have nightmares about. This team is just looking bad overall today. You already lost first place in the C2. You already stopped yourself from getting a bigger position in the playoffs in the B, and now you're practically giving the C away. Guys, it's not Christmas yet. It's not. Got a few weeks. Why don't you stop in the giving mood and try to receive some wins? Because you already got enough L's today. Let's see what happens in the second half. Second half, Melvin on 5 rush, rolls left, throws a TJ in the gap for a decent game, picking up the first down. Melvin throws a Moolah on the sideline, caught in the corner of the end zone, for the touchdown. Moolah makes a catch and stays inbounds for the score. X gets the extra point, 20-7. If you look here, Earl never points him out, and they give up a touchdown. You know what's the problem with this?
What?
Earl should be at safety. Moss should be at corner. Moss played this like a corner because he can watch the quarterback because you're the corner and you have the linebacker, and inside you got more help. Earl didn't used to talking because he's used to being the last line of defense where he don't need nobody to tell him where to go because he's already there. I don't know what happened with these guys. We've seen Earl play safety in the past. I don't know why the hell they're trying to create him to make him a corner. That guy's not a corner. First of all, he doesn't have blow-away speed. He needs to play safety because it gives him more space downfield. And he can cheat more and has a little more cushion. Moss has speed. Moss should be at corner. Earl should be at safety. These both guys are out of position, and they both are cause for the touchdown.
And Moss is taller, so he's able to have that length to stay with receivers on the sideline. So that
Tiki knows something I don't. Obviously, didn't work here because both of them guys are to blame for the touchdown. If you look here, what is Tiki doing? He's silent again on the sideline. This is not a replay of the first game. This is the second game. I'm sorry, this is not a replay of the second game. The first game, we already know they lost that game. This is not a replay of the second game when we saw him on the sideline silent. This is a replay of the third game. Silent again. Yeah, great coach. Creep is going to get the ball with 2 runs in the gap for a nice game, picking up the first down. Third and goal, Creep throws to Pratt in the front of the end zone. That's going to be dropped because Pratt should never play offense. 4th and goal, Creep scrambles with blocker from Pratt. Those are showing the back of the end zone, knocked away by Peanut. Turnover on downs. If you look here, their best offensive player was open. Me. And they don't find him.
the thing about this play is because the pressure was already coming, Creep is not looking at that side. He's looking and he's focused on one point in the field, but you know, bad fourth down. He doesn't make that play. But the surefire play on this drive was to Pratt in front of the end zone, and he drops it. You said he shouldn't even be out there on offense, and
unless he's blocking.
Oh wow. So my thing is, I can't argue with you when you're making drops like this for touchdowns. And what outcome are you gonna have other than you turn over the ball when you're dropping open touchdown passes?
First down, Melvin throws deep to Eli, who has a step on Shrag, caught and ran into the end zone, but a touchdown. Eli gets the extra point, 27-20. Shrag thought he got picked. The whole team thought he got picked. Won't you tell me about the play, Ghost?
And if you look at this play here, as you know, the ball is hiked or whatever, the receivers are going out. You see Strag on the corner now, strafing. He's strafing, following the receiver. So Eli cuts inside and then makes a move. He cuts inside and then speeds towards the middle. By then, if you look at TJ, he's on his route. TJ does an in, does like a 7 to stop. He turns around. By the time TJ turns around, Strag is already running towards, following Eli. They not even, I wouldn't even say slightly run into each other because it's not enough contact to say, oh, well, TJ interfered with the play. I don't see that. It looked like from right here at this position of the play, Strag was already beat because he was strafing the whole way on the sideline. Eli made a move. Strag wasn't able to compensate because he got beat. And because of that, Eli was left open in the middle of this field to run in for the score. I don't think that was a pick play. That was just Strag not running the play right, and he got beat by Eli.
It's not a pick play, you know why? Look at these guys here. See how they're moving on the hike? See where the defense is at? What does that mean the defense is playing?
They're playing man.
Exactly. So if they're playing man on man, the offense don't know where you're going to be at. If you look here, TJ was already running his route. So unless he have magical eyes behind his head, or unless he can imagine the route that his guy was doing, he didn't even know the guy was coming. Shrag is already beat right here. He's beat.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
So you wasn't picked. TJ tries his best to get out of the way, but he has the right to the ground as anybody else. Shrag should not play corner, but because they got Juan giving him the ball, they have nowhere else for Shrag. Shrag is not an offensive player, so they're forcing him into the corner position, which we've seen him week in, week out, get beat. So either you put Juan on the corner, who I think Juan could play a little better defender, or Shrag goes to the sideline. Because he cannot play corner, he's going to continue to get smoked. So they give up a touchdown here. After a few short plays, Creep throws it up on 4th down, incomplete, ending the game. Brotherhood with the blowout win, 27-7.
And right when it starts, it's already over. I'm guessing you're gonna, speak on Primetime.
Yeah, you had some things you wanted to say.
I'll let you handle that. But the only thing I'm gonna say is you mentioned the whole thing about coaching, right?
Yes.
You mentioned that, this is a game, like the last game, that was a game that was blamed on Tiki for losing.
Yes.
Or whatever. You look at the plays, he's on the sideline.
Correct.
I'm hearing from sources on their team that Tiki did this on purpose.
Wow.
This is him, based on the sources that we have, like you always say, we have sources.
There's always sources.
Not giving out the sources, but we have sources. He did this on purpose. He let the team play out on their own. He let them figure out their mistakes on their own. Based on what we're hearing, he felt like this is a learning opportunity for them to understand what they're doing wrong on their own before they get into the playoffs. Now, I'll leave my criticism of that team later on after you kind of do your thing or whatever. But what I'm going to say about Brotherhood is this team needs the fire to be burning under them. They need something to spark that fire. And what sparked that fire was, the little altercation they had early in the game. Not to point any fingers, but, Machine got into an altercation with one of the players on Primetime or whatever. I don't know if it was done purposely to actually, really start a fight or anything like that. But I think that it was there as a purpose of motivating his guys. Mm-hmm. Because they're the team that scored. So why would you start a fight or anything like that when your team is scoring, your team is winning? So I think that it was there to actually motivate their guys and get their engines going. And I think that it was effective because everybody came out on this Brotherhood team and played. You know, they locked up on defense. They played well on offense. And you see Melvin's performance was through the roof because of it. When you have a confident quarterback like Melvin playing the way that he is, you have an opportunity to win the majority of the games you go on the field to win. When you have this team playing the way they do, they need to be like this all the time moving forward. That's all I have to say about that.
Shout to Brotherhood. They lead the league in scoring, 22.8 points a game. They scored 27 points. Shout to them. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They're scoring team. They score.
Yeah.
Now, their defense leaves something to be
Desired.
yes. But they score. So you got to give them that. And Melvin did exactly what he does. Primetime. Primetime just gave up 27 points. Primetime took 3 losses today. Ready for this?
Okay.
C2, they lost 13-6 to a team that they beat earlier this season 36-7. Let me repeat that. They lost 13-6 to a team that they beat earlier this season 36-7. Those 6 points that Primetime scored, who's the highest scoring offense in the C2, those 6 points that they scored was the least points that they gave. Yeah, was the least points that they scored all season. Now, mind you, they lost to Little Rascals 12-0. But that was a forfeit.
Yeah.
So they didn't actually play. So that 6 points, the first game, is the least points their offense has scored this season.
Yeah.
Then you go to the C game, the Brotherhood game. You give up 27 points. Those 27 points are the most points that they have given up all season. And then you get to the B. Those 32 points in the B division was the most points they have given up in the B division. Why will all of a sudden you have season highs on all these stats? Because the coach didn't coach. Why would you give up a season high on all those things, all those games, all those divisions? Because I believe the source. The source is right. He did do this on purpose. And if he did, because we can't guarantee, if he did, that is the most arrogant, selfish, and incompetent coaching that I have seen in my whole career of doing Tough Talk. Because you lost first place in 2 divisions. In the C2 and in the C.
But I'm going to tell you this. And it goes even further. So the whole thing about selfish and the whole thing about, you know, arrogant and...
Wait, let me finish.
Go ahead.
Then you can jump back on, because then you can wrap it up.
Yeah.
I heard another source.
Okay.
Some of the players are upset that Pig is getting the ball too much.
Well, I wasn't even going that far.
Well, we seen them not get the ball, and they scored 7 points today. We seen them not go. Pig is Creep's favorite receiver. You got to call plays where Creep looks for him. We didn't see that this game. Then we seen them drop 2 touchdown passes. One to Pratt, who shouldn't play offense, and one to Mach, who was the most crucial as far as criticizing player on this team, drop a crucial touchdown pass in the beginning of the game. This team was all over the place. This team was not coached, and it all comes down to their so-called best coach in the game.
Okay. Now, I just want to say 2 things. You see how you mentioned the whole thing about Pig, you know, that they were, according to sources, that Pig is getting the ball too much and they're upset about that, some of the players. That reminds me of an episode of Boondocks. And stay with me here.
Right.
There was an episode where I believe Huey had a play, like he was doing a Christmas play or whatever.
Okay.
And he had all types of different stars playing in the play. It was a big thing. It was very dramatic. It was, you know, star-studded or whatever. It went far and you know, it was pretty much a really high performance play.
Okay.
But most of the parents were not satisfied at all. They ended up boycotting the play. Why? Because they just wanted to see their kids on stage.
Right.
They didn't care how good it was. They just cared that their kids was on stage. So they would rather the play be not so good as long as they see their kids look cute in costume.
Right.
Rather than to have the play be the most fantastic thing that they ever saw. You know? So think about that. That reminds me of when you see the team, even though they're winning, because one guy keeps getting the ball and scoring 20 points by himself, because they're not getting the ball for a 5-yard play. They're not getting the ball for a 15-yard pass and not getting into the end zone. Which do you prefer? You want to look good in the costume or you want to win? That's my issue. Because whatever you're complaining about doesn't make any sense to me. You know? That's my one criticism there. And I hope people get my Boondocks reference because, you know, you should have watched the show by now. But my other thing is, you mentioned the whole thing about being arrogant, selfish about Tiki, right? I think it's more than that.
Wow.
I think that there was an issue, personally, early on with that C2 loss that they had against Power Circle. I'm mad that I didn't get to record it because I was on the other side of the field. But I heard for myself Tiki and Quick arguing at the top of their lungs.
Right.
You know, so I would add one attribute to Tiki with how he was all throughout the day.
Right.
I would maybe add Salty there.
Right.
He was a little upset because, you know, tensions are high and you have your quarterback yelling at you.
Wow.
When you're the coach and you have your quarterback yelling at you. You know, I don't know what they were yelling about, but they were yelling at the top of their lungs. That for sure. I know that. You know, so after that, it seems like he didn't feel like coaching anymore. I don't know if it was the whole mastermind thing about he wanted the team to figure things out on their own. No, he was probably just pissed and he didn't feel like dealing with nothing. That's what it sounds like to me.
And we seen Quick run out the park.
Yes.
He didn't even stay for the season.
Yes, and we see when Quick is upset, he wears his heart on his sleeve. You know when Quick is upset. It's not hidden. So something must have happened. Whatever was said or whatever, it affected Tiki, and that is why he took to the sideline and stayed quiet throughout the rest of the day. He was upset. And it reflected in the way he did in that day.
Well, at the end of the day, I think, like I said, if everything we heard was true, then this backfired. This is going to backfire you. Brother had the ball 5 times and scored 4. And I think this is going to backfire.
Mm-hmm.
You saw how they looked? See how they was all over the place? See how poorly they played?
Mm-hmm.
Attitude reflects leadership. Said that in Remember Titans.
Mm-hmm.
This team was not led. And for Tiki to think he could just be able to turn it off and turn it on when he want, and he's going to wait until the first round of the playoffs to tell the guys, I told you so, you got to listen to me. And they don't tell you to go what yourself? Because now they're like, you was willing to sacrifice wins to prove a point. I think this could be a double-edged sword. I think this could get them in and out the playoffs early. We're going to have to see.
No.
We're going to wrap this game up. Brotherhood with the blowout win over Primetime, 27-7. We're going to be right back.